Welcome to this episode of the Sports Detective Podcast Show. My name is James Williams, and today we discuss if Bill Belichick will be unemployed for the 2024 NFL season. The reason we are talking about this is because we have two head coaching openings still available in the NFL, and none of them have showed any sort of interest in hiring Bill Belichick. I'll go ahead and share this tweet from Adam Schefter. Just get a little bit of the timeline here. This is a tweet that was from 4 days ago. I'm recording this Monday after the conference championship game. So this is the Schefter tweet here. The last two head coach openings of the cycle are the Seahawks and the Commanders. Neither team is expected to hire anyone until next week after Sunday's conference championship games, per league sources. Available coaches for the final two spots include Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, Anthony Weaver, Mike McDonald, Ejiro Avero, Dan Quinn, and Bobby Slowick. So a little bit of context for those hirings too. I think it looks like it's very, very much all of the signs are pointing that Ben Johnson's going to go to the Commanders. And then Dan Quinn has been the front runner for the Seahawks position. But there's kind of some speculation that like some of those talks have kind of died down recently. And so if you know that the Commanders aren't probably going to hire Belichick, and then you know that like the Seahawks just gave up on their 70-year-old coach, I don't think they're going to hire another 70-year-old coach. That doesn't seem, very logical. So right now it looks like, guys, Bill Belichick isn't going to be a head coach next year. And this is very, very shocking because, one, for the Belichick angle of this, Bill Belichick very much wants to catch Don Shula's all-time wins record. He's very, very close. I think he's like 13 or 14 wins away. So if he had like two average to decent seasons or above average seasons, he would be able to break it very, very soon. And I think too, he decided to walk away from the Patriots, or he parted ways with the Patriots, because I think they both kind of like looked at each other and said, I think the Patriots said, hey, we're ready to kind of move on here. This isn't the best roster. We know you want to go and get that record. We'll let you go to where you can go and get that record somewhere else at a place that's a little bit more ready to win than we are now. And we'll kind of enter more of a rebuilding stage. And I think if Bill Belichick would have known that no one was going to hire him, I think he probably would have fought back a little bit more with the Patriots. And I think he would have tried to stay at the Patriots, and maybe he'd still be the Patriots head coach. Now, let's talk about why no one wanted to hire Bill Belichick. Well, I think first off, he's 72 years old. And I think everyone knows if they hire him, it's probably more likely that he retires in 3 years than is still being their head coach 5 years from now. And I don't think a lot of like teams wanted to just have like a 3 to 4 year rental on their head coach. I think they potentially wanted someone that could be, you want the young hot shot. You want somebody that can be a little bit more of a long term bet versus a short term bet. So I think that's part of it. Um, I think the second point, and I think this is maybe the main reason that like the Atlanta Hawks situation fell through, is because Bill Belichick doesn't just want to come in and be your head coach. He wants to run the player personnel. And that's what he has been doing in New England the last, or for most of his tenure in New England. And for a while it was kind of cute when Bill Belichick would trade back in the draft and take this like weird Division II player, higher than he should have been. He ends up being a solid player. And then people really didn't care about it because they would just go ahead and win 12 to 13 games every year. And they'd be in the AFC championship game every year. They won 6 Super Bowls and they went to 8 Super Bowls, so that stuff, I think to a degree got overlooked after a while. But if you look at the drafts that the Patriots have had the last like 5 to 10 years or so, there is hella busts. They have had some very, very bad stinkers in the draft. Just to name a few, especially offensive weapons. They drafted N'Keal Harry in the first round. They drafted Sony Michel over Nick Chubb, even though they were both on the same Georgia team. Where is Sony Michel now? I have no idea. But Nick Chubb is one of the best running backs when he's healthy in the NFL. They had Mac Jones, obviously, which, has not turned out that well for Mac Jones so far with him on the Patriots. Looks like he's probably going to be on a new team, if not next year, the year after. There's just been a lot of stinkers, and that's the main reason why this team, the Patriots team, is in position where they're going to be, they have the third pick in the draft, is because this team just does not have much talent. They went and, did some pretty bold moves in free agency a few off seasons ago. those didn't necessarily pan out the way that they should have. And just overall, this Patriots roster has just been going downhill for years now, even at the end of the Brady era. And that's part of the reason Tom Brady left, was because he's like, hey, like, I love New England, love this place, but we're not necessarily giving me the help that I need. So I'm going to go to this other place where I have, just awesome set of talent all around me. And we'll go and win a Super Bowl in Tampa. So that's why Brady left. And I think that's why a lot of these teams just didn't want to hire Belichick. With the Falcons position specifically, the word kind of coming out of Atlanta, if you kind of listen to some of the whispers, was that the owner very much wanted to hire Bill Belichick, but all of the people in the front office didn't want to hire Bill Belichick because they're like, hey, like he's going to come in here and he's going to, try and control the roster. And if he controls the roster, one, there's really not that much of a, point for us to be here. And two, if he tries to control the roster and then screws it up, then we're all going to get canned. So like we don't want him here because we don't want him to take our job, basically. And eventually the owner, I guess, listened to the front office, and that's why they hired Raheem Morris. So and it's kind of like an amazing thing here too, because Bill Belichick's 72 years old. And you would think that like maybe this would be like an easy selling point to him here too. Would be like two in Atlanta Falcons, two of San Diego Chargers, or whoever would want to hire him. Just be like, hey, Bill, you just come in here. All you got to do is coach. We only want you to coach. You're one of the best. You're the best ever to do it. You just come in here and coach. We'll give you the players. We can have a collaborative process on how we build the roster. Because if you want to run some sort of defensive scheme, we'll help you with that. But the offense, we aren't letting you touch the offense. We're not letting you pick the quarterback. We're not letting you pick the receivers. We're going to get, some hot shot coordinator to go with you, and we're going to roll from here. And I think that's really it, man. I think he just didn't want to give up the power. And this is amazing here too, guys, because like if he's not getting hired this year when he's 72, and a weird kind of crappy organization like the Falcons isn't going to hire him, who's going to be the team that hires him next year? Who's going to be the team that hires him next year? I don't know who that team is. Is it somebody like the Cowboys or the Eagles when if next season kind of ends the way this one did, and they're like, all right, let's just move on here. We'll bring in Belichick. We have a stacked roster. We know he can coach. And maybe if he's going to like a more established organization like an Eagles, like a Cowboys, that has like, I guess the Eagles have some playoff success, the Cowboys don't, but are teams that are with their rosters winning 10 to 12 games a year. Is he more willing to be like, all right, I'll go in and just be a head coach? Maybe he kind of takes this time this year, reflects a little bit, and is like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I don't need to be as involved with personnel as I was in New England. And maybe something like that happens. But this is pretty shocking to me, guys. Bill Belichick does not look like he's going to be coaching in 2024. And I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting to see if someone wants to hire him next year, because he's going to be 73. So if 72 is not appealing to some teams, 73 isn't going to be any more appealing. So there you have it, guys. Let me know in the comments. Is Bill Belichick done coaching? Is he going to catch Don Shula? Are the Falcons dumb for not hiring him, or other teams dumb for not hiring him? So let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you got this far into the video, please hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. It really helps us out in the algorithm. We've just started posting, sports videos, kind of reaction stuff like this, the fun, interesting stories over the last few months, even though I have been doing the show for about 4 years now. So if you really help us out, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that like button. It really helps us out in the algorithm. It really helps, get the word out about this show. So I very much appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you next time.